Alright, so today we're going to show you a video on a MyFord HPM. This is a machine with a full cycle, traverse grinding, plunge grinding, spark out, and so on. The machine is currently wired for high voltage, which is anywhere from 440 to 480. We currently have about 460, something like that, going into it, and it's three-phase. We have the hydraulic unit here. There's also a small cooling system on the other side. So right now the grinder is going back and forth with the table running to the length that I have these dogs set at, and we can control the speed of the table here. This machine has a few different modes. Right now I'm in the hand mode. You need to be in the hand mode for this table to work with this lever, the table on and off. And there's a little symbol there of a hand. But you can shut this off, and you can also work with this now in the hand mode only, because in the other cycles modes this is disconnected. So right now you can work with this, and you can also lock this, and you have a fine feed for this table if you're going up against the shoulder. So that's the hand mode. So in the hand mode you have your workhead running, and you start and stop it with the switch on the side of the console here. Start and stop. Now the slide moves forward hydraulically, comes to a rest at its forward position, and in the manual mode all your infeeds have already fed to their stop position. So you have the in and out. Now another option you have in manual, if you don't want to start the workhead from here for some reason, you have this selection here under your workhead symbol to go to this this funny looking little symbol. This is your cross slide. This is your grinding wheel going in and out. So now they allow you to control this workhead on and off with this lever here that brings the wheel slide in and out. So if you were sitting here doing some small parts in a collet, you didn't want to be bothered with all these cycles, that's how you could work the machine. It would back away from your part. You're going to feed down to your size. You make fine adjustments with your fine feed dial, or you pull this out and reset the dial. Again, your automatic in-feed, when you're in manual, when you're in the hand position, all your in-feeds have been advanced to their furthest point up against the solid stop. And that's where you want them when you're working manually with this machine. So, what else can it do? We go back. It has an automatic cycle. In the automatic cycle, there's a little lever on the side here that you have to switch up. And when you switch that up, your pointers here are going to start to move back away from zero, because your in-feed cylinder has moved away from the stop, from zero. You're also going to change your mode over here. So you have hand, you have this arrow going straight in, and you have this arrow kind of going into a groove. That's their symbol for plunge grinding. But for plunge grinding, we're not going to move our table. We also need to set this up and lock it in. There's a special position in the back here with the automatic symbol. You have to raise this little mushroom button and lift this up, and this lever will go back another 1/16 or so of a turn. Now everything with this up and that back and that on that setting, you are in automatic plunge mode. Now to start the machine plunging, you use this switch on the side. Your headstock starts, your wheel slide moves in, and this pointer now is moving down slowly, or whatever I have it set here, until it gets to the fine feed, and then it comes down to the stop, and now you're waiting for that green light to come on. That's your spark out. And then it's going to kick back. And at the same time it kicks back, your in-feed indicator here, your pointers are moving in and moving out. We should probably bring the camera over here so we see this. Right now I'm backed up to about 40 thousandths. So when I start the machine up, we start to move in at whatever I have this top dial set at. I can speed that up. And it gets to 0. And we wait for the spark out and we go back. One thing I want to say about this particular machine, this is a 200 thousandths in-feed machine. Most MyFords are only 50 thousandths, which falls somewhere around here. So this machine has a different ratio or gearing. So that's why you see these pointers so close to 0. But I'm still taking off about 40 thousandths if you go by the setting back here. And again, back here you'll see that this goes to 200 thousandths in feed. So this is a special machine. And the way they came from the factory when they had the 200 thousandths in feed is they had these Rexroth locking valves here. So you could lock this for an operator so that nobody could change this speed. But you have to lock it in, and then it has to engage. It's easy to move this key and screw it up like I just did. Let me do another plunge. So we come over here and look at this. You have your needle moving slowly. I can increase that by turning this. And it's going to stop at the other needle and go slower. That's the bottom one. And then we're going to start our spark out timer. And it'll kick out. Now that's plunge. Plunge moves along continuously. Next thing you can do with this machine is automatic incremental plunge feed grinding, traverse grinding. So now you go back up to the switch here where it only has an arrow. That actually means that you're going to increment in on, either the left side or the right side or both sides of your part. And if you want to do that, for instance, I'm going to feed in on both sides of my part. But if I didn't want to feed in on the headstock side, I could shut that off. And vice versa. If I didn't want to feed in on the tailstock side, I could shut that off. But I'm going to put them both on so that the video goes quicker. Now, to get the table to move with the cycle, again, you have to lift this mushroom knob up and move this lever all the way to the back and lock it into its automatic cycle. And when we start this, we should have the slide come in, the workhead start, and the table start. Now each time this table reverses, this needle is moving, taking a little step. And that's your increment. And it'll make a smaller step when it gets to the fine feed pointer, the changeover pointer. And at the end of the cycle, if your part is not the right size, you make your adjustment here with your fine feed dial. You're changing the relationship to the dead stop. This always has to be down and onto the 0. So that's it. This is just going to go back and forth. It will kick out either on the left side or on the right side. It will not kick out in the center of your part. That's the way it's designed. So you have your diamond dresser here, the tailstock. This particular one has a live and dead center. Right now it's live. We're turning a collet, MyFord, I forget what type of collet it is. This part here is a special adapter. Let's stop this cycle. There's a special adapter. It's held and driven by this little dog right here. There's a drawbar going through, pulling on the collet to tighten and loosen it. If you don't want to have it spinning, you take all that out and you lock your spindle in and you put a drive dog on this black face here and you spin just around your center. Inside of here is a special MyFord, the sleeve itself, the spindle sleeve, has a special MyFord taper. And if you needed a number 2 more center, you have to have the MyFord to the number 2 more center, or the MyFord to the whatever this collet is considered. They also make a center that goes into their adapter. So into that adapter you would put a Morse tape, a number 2 center. But this is not a number 2 Morse center. This is a MyFord special configuration. You got to use the MyFord tool with your adapter or whatever. The tailstock is a number 2 Morse center, just plain and simple. You put your center in there. You can adjust for that. And let's see if I left anything else out. The workhead is variable speed. Over here you have a potentiometer that you can slow that down. So I hope that answered or helps anybody out with one of these MyFords. Thank you very much.